do the dishes. What's going on, guys? Right here again with the Club Global, teaching men around the world to be men of the world. And today, wait a minute, that's better. Today we're talking about how to unclog the sink. This is a shitty, regular household chore sometimes you got to do if you get food and junk caught down in your sink. There are some very simple and common household remedies for this. Vinegar and baking soda down the drain, or some liquid plumber or some Drano. You can also just pull the catch out of the bottom of the sink, clean that out. But sometimes those simple little fixes aren't going to do the trick. Sometimes you got stuff clogged way down in the pipe underneath the house or whatever, and you got to use a drain snake to get it out. What are you going to do? Call a plumber. You can do that. It's expensive, but I will show you how to fix that with some pretty inexpensive stuff you can pick up at the hardware store and get your sink flowing again right as rain. Let's get into it. First thing you're going to need is a wet shop vac. Real cheap. You can buy them at any hardware store. You're just going to use this to suck all the water out of the sink so you can pull the pipes apart and not get water all over the floor. The next tool we're going to need is a handheld drain snake. You can get these at Lowe's, Home Depot, any hardware store near you. It's just a handheld crank with a big metal coil wire inside that you feed into the pipe and you spin it when you hit the clog to loosen it up and unclog it. Now the first step after you vacuum out the water from the sink and the drain is to disassemble the piping under the sink. This is all the tubing that goes from the drain at the bottom of the sink to the pipe in the wall. If you got a double sink or a garbage disposal or whatever, you're gonna have a second pipe that goes into the side. Easy stuff. Just unscrew all the fittings and pull it apart. Check that catch, which is the U-shaped pipe that dips down there. That could be where your clog is right there. Just clean that out and you could be good to go. But for the sake of this video, we have a clog that's way deep in the pipe and we're gonna drain snake it. Make sure you clean all these pipes and fittings before you reassemble them. You don't want any gunk all on the threads and everything. Just clean it up. Now we're going to use the drain snake. You just unlock that little tab in the end and you are going to feed the snake into the pipe. And you're going to feed it in until you hit a blockage. Alright? And that blockage is going to be where we're going to start spinning and unclogging. Once you hit that blockage, you just lock the coil and start spinning. And that little needle on the end of that coil is going to dig into that clog. Once you give it a few good spins, you're going to pull that coil back out, and likely you're going to see a bunch of junk caught inside the end of that coil. Clean that out. Do it a few more times. Yummy. Once you are confident that you have cleared out the blockage, just reassemble all your piping that is now clean, and we're going to test it out. And now just run the sink with as hot of water as your sink will put out. Alright, let it run for 5, 10, 15 minutes even. Alright, you want to make sure that the water isn't going to pile up if that clog was way deep down. Let that sink run so you are confident that the water is flowing and draining properly, and you are done. If the sink fills back up while you're doing this sink test, then do the same process over again. Vacuum all the water out, pull the piping apart, get the snake back in there, and do some more unclogging. Alright, you may need to repeat this step 2 or 3 times. If that doesn't do it, you may have to call a plumber, but most of the time just this will take care of it. And man, that's it. A little bit of elbow grease, a cheapo drain snake from the hardware store, and your sink is flowing again. Alright, so keep this in mind next time you got water piling up in your sink and you're thinking, oh man, I gotta call a plumber, what am I gonna do? No worries. Alright, Just drain snake it yourself, no big deal. Sometimes you might need big guns, you gotta call a plumber, or you can go buy one of those $300-400 motorized snakes and try it yourself, but such a scenario I'd recommend probably calling a professional. But for a simple job like a small clog down in the pipe, fixable with a little handheld drain snake. So with that, this is Ray signing out.